Well, we've got a great guest on our show today. In Denver, Colorado, he's been named by Real Trends and Zillow as one of the top 1,000 agents in all the U.S. and one of the top 100 agents in all of Colorado. Please welcome to the show once again, broker, owner, and CEO of the Wilson Group Real Estate, Mr. Sam Wilson. Sam, thank you so much for coming on to the American Dream.
Hi, Sarah. I'm thrilled to be here. My pleasure.
So I understand we'll talk a lot about the value of having a buyer's agent. So what are some of the common mistakes that sellers make in a hot real estate market?
The big mistake is not hiring a buyer's agent. So we get a lot of calls and we talk to a lot of buyers who think they can go directly to the listing agent or even directly to the seller because they think that they're going to save money if the seller doesn't have to pay a commission to the buyer's agent. And it's simply just not true. Okay. So the listing agent and the seller negotiate the commission between them. So if there's no buyer agent involved, then they're going to pocket the commission. So most buyer agents get paid by the seller's agent anyway, or by the seller themselves, so there's no financial benefit. And then the other reason it's such a big mistake is because the listing agent owes fiduciary and legal responsibility to represent, and in a word, win for the seller. They owe the buyer absolutely nothing other than getting the house closed.
So I just feel like this is such a big moment for people when purchasing a home. As a buyer, I would think that you would want somebody in your corner really fighting for the best deal for you as well. So Sam, can you also kind of talk about what if there happens to be any problems with the purchase or the house itself?
Yes, I'd be happy to. There's so many things throughout a contract, the transaction itself and the house itself too. So with a buyer's agent, buyers get representation and some protection on this. And it starts right from the beginning. Who's protecting your earnest money? Who's holding the earnest money? Right. How do you get it back if something happens during the process? And then it goes on to the big things, such as inspection. So it's important to know what inspections to get, reputable inspectors to use, and what to look for. Importantly, once you're done with the inspection, what to ask for and how to negotiate that with the seller. And the listing agent or the seller themselves, they want it to be as easy as they can without making repairs. So buyers need someone in the corner fighting for them to get those things fixed. And then you get to things like the value of the house, the most important thing. What's the house really worth? Most people don't realize that buyers don't have control over the appraisers. They call the listing agent to set up the appointment. And without a buyer's agent, nobody's there to influence the appraiser to the buyer's advantage, which is obviously important. And then, of course, there's closing and even pre-closing. What happens if you're walking through the house right before closing and something's wrong with it, or you find out they didn't make the repairs you asked for? And there's a number of other things throughout the process that are very important to have representation on. And then I want to bring up a newer one that most people don't really know about, and that's a new federal law about the Foreign Investor Real Property Tax Act. And that requires buyers, believe it or not, to pay a 15% tax on the purchase price if they purchase a home from a foreign investors. And everyone knows there's been a lot of foreign investment here in the United States in real estate. So with a buyer's agent, we know what to look for. We know how to ask for that. And importantly, get the seller to leave that money in escrow so the buyer doesn't have to pay that.
Well, I know if I was a buyer, I definitely want you in my corner, Sam. That was an exhaustive list of things to just keep track of. But before we let you go today, I know you've got a hot new listing. Can you give us a little description of that?
Yes, I'd love to. It's 10243 Rolock Way down in Parker. And this is in the very desirable Stonegate neighborhood. It's on a premium lot in the neighborhood with some views. And it's got 5,000 square feet, about 3,200 of it's finished with 5 beds and 4 bathrooms, and it's priced at just $620,000. So this one will certainly go pretty quickly. And that's another reason you might want us as a buyer's agent, because we know about listings before they come on the market. They're not always on the internet.
Okay, so all those buyers out there looking for real estate in Denver, you've got to call Sam. Sam, thank you so much for bringing your insight once again to the American Dream. I think if anybody really needs that special insight, they should contact you.
Thanks, Sarah. Appreciate being here.
All right. And on the flip side, if you need help getting connected to a real estate professional, please contact us at theamericandreamnetwork.tv. We'll connect you with the correct real estate professional in your area. Stick around. We'll be right back.